Hey everyone. We gotta move this back. All right. So today I am recording for dual purpose. So I just want you to know this is going to go into my Facebook group as our March Biz Accelerator. I know this isn't going to release on the podcast until April. So if you want to see the rest of the videos or hear the rest of what's going on in the group, please go visit my group, my Facebook group, which is called the Elevated Entrepreneur. Surprise. And what's the other thing you can do? Oh, it's if you're searching for it, you can search for at Elevate Your Business Now on Facebook, and it should pop right up for you. So, but I am also recording this for the Elevated Entrepreneur podcast. So if you are listening there when you are hearing my voice right now, welcome to the next episode. Today, we're going to talk about the busy badge. The busy badge that we seem to wear with pride, the one that's universally recognized as an entrepreneur, as a woman, as a human, to be normal, right? It's universally recognized in the human world as normal to wear this badge of honor called being busy. Like we're supposed to be busy. And I just want, before I mention any more of that, before I talk about more of that, I just want to say, if you're watching this video, today I downloaded on Zoom some of the filters. So today I'm wearing my crown, my queen crown, as a filter today. So we're just setting the mood. Anyways, all right, back to being busy. So we all sit here and feel like we have to be busy. I know that most of you listening are probably women, but men, guys, this goes for you too. Please listen to the rest of this episode because this is important for all of us as human. And if you're also watching this video, you can see my cat in the background talking to us all. See, he agrees. He's a guy. He gets it. All right. So, here we are sitting here being human, building our businesses, taking care of our kids, just living life. And we feel like we always have to be doing something. We always have to be busy. And if you're not busy, it's like you're not doing enough, or you're not being productive, or you're lazy, or you're not being consistent. You'll never reach your goals. You won't be successful. You'll never have what you want, but you're failing if you're not busy. Like that's really what it comes down to right there, is that you're failing if you're not busy. And none of us want any of those things. So we fill our calendars to the brink, and we're outwardly proud of it. Like it's exciting to say to somebody, let me check my calendar. Oh, no, I don't have time until next week between 4 and 5 on Thursday. Or like it makes us feel important or accomplished to have a calendar that looks like Rainbow Bright threw up all over it. But inside, we're actually like crying. We're like, oh, I'm so tired from just looking at it. And then our intuition and our higher self and our soul are going, what the fuck? It's like, are you kidding? And our bodies and our minds are exhausted. And we're just on this one-way street to depletion and burnout and resentment. Like that's the biggest one right there, resentment. So when we're like exhausted and tired and we're like, we're just going to do it anyways, and we're going to push through, we're going to end up resenting the thing that we feel, quote unquote, makes us busy or push through or do it anyways, right? And those are the camps that we're in right now, especially on social media. I notice a lot on my own social media, my personal page, in groups. If you're in a group or you're looking at your own personal page, this is true for me, that there are two camps. There's one camp where they're like, be still, look within, only do what feels good, right? And I love that camp. I do. I love that camp. And then there's the other side of the fence. It's like they're on this fence and they're both holding these signs up, like they're picketing on either side. And they're like, one's like, be still, look within. The other one's going, do it when you don't feel like it, push through it, always be busy. And because I feel like this is happening because we as a society have lost the meaning of true divine energetic balance. And we feel like we can only be in one of those camps. And if we do or feel something that aligns with one camp or the other, whichever opposite side we're on, then we feel like we're being disloyal, like we feel bad about it. And that's because we have either learned or conditioned ourselves to do that, which is, actually like wounded energy. So let me explain a little bit about that first. We all have feminine and masculine energy, and we all need both. And there are ways of being in each of these energies that are called divine, meaning we're in that energy in its highest potential. So for instance, when you're in divine energy, you're being, and these lists are not full lists because we could be here forever and a day talking about all of these things. But when you're in divine feminine energy, you're being intuitive, you're grounded, you're trusting, supportive, magnetic, compassionate, open, receptive, authentic. You have loving boundaries and you flow through life effortlessly surrendered. And when you're in divine masculine energy, you are being, and I'm air quoting for those of you that aren't watching me right now, you're being focused, logical, accountable, responsible, a leader, protective, deeply present, and you have healthy boundaries and offer stability and security. So I know some of you women right now and men right now are saying, but I want to be those things. Like I want that, but I want to be in my feminine energy too, right? And then guys are going, I want to be supportive and, grounded and receptive and things like that, but that's feminine energy. Well, okay, so let's talk about wounded energy, because if you feel like you can't have both of these things, or you feel like you can't be both of these things, then you're showing up in some kind of wounded energy, right? So when these energies show up as wounded energy, which could be the result of a bazillion different things, right? You're showing up as codependent, needy, manipulative, controlling, avoiding, or aggressive. Again, not a full list. So a balanced, healthy integration of both of those energies and knowing when to pivot, because it's what you as a human and a spiritual being need at the moment, is key. And when I talk about this with my clients and students, I'm often hearing things like, but I need to be consistent and take action every day. And yeah, I say to that, absolutely, like fist pump, right? And there's still a way to do that and still honor your body, intuition, time, and energy. So I hear this so much and say this so much to my clients and my students that I created a new program for it to help integrate the energies into your business and life. It's called Quantum Shifts. I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. And if you want more information on that, so one, you can click the link. If you're listening on my podcast, go to the show notes, click the link. If you are in my group, don't worry, more info is coming on that. But yeah, let's just get real here for a second. If you're working towards something like a fitness goal. You need to be consistent with moving your body and paying attention to what you're putting into it, right? But that doesn't mean that you need to grind it out of the gym every day for 2 hours, or skip going out with your girlfriends for lunch, or skip a great family meal. Doesn't mean that. Or if you're working on a relationship, like, you're not gonna not consistently work on a relationship, right? You're not gonna show up like all in it, and in that feminine or masculine energy, whichever you need to do, and not show up that way the next day. Or you're going to show up looking like or acting like a total jackass like the next day. That's not going to happen, because that doing that is not going to move you forward, right? Which totally brings me to your business, right? So you're starting or growing a business. You're not going to show up one day fully present, rocking it out, and then not show up for a week, because you're not going to expect that to keep the momentum going. But when you take the intentional action and you set yourself up to be productive consistently, that's when the magic happens. So, like, when I sit down to be productive, I'm like, we get the shit done, right? Snap, snap, snap. We get shit done. We are being productive. I don't fill my calendar with like random coffee chats. I never fill up an entire day, like from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with like my whole day is full with things to do, quote unquote. And I don't add random shit to it just to make it look or feel full. Like, I'm not saying that that's what you do. I'm hoping you don't do that. But I'll tell you something. I remember a time I took my daughter to her horseback riding lesson. And the instructor said to me, what's a good day next week? And I pulled out my calendar on my phone, and it literally was like all these colors and all these times blocked off. And it was like, I felt good about it, which was not thinking back about it. I was like, oh my gosh. But it's not that I felt good about it. It's that I felt important. I felt like I was doing something. I was, I don't know, being important or whatever it was. That, like, when I opened up my calendar, I was like, oh, well, let's see, like next week, I can do this day or this day. And I remember them looking at my calendar and being like, holy crap, and it actually made me feel like, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It felt like validation. It felt like validation that I was on my way to being a success, because my calendar was filled to the brink with stuff, right? Like, now, working through some wounded energies that I had, that was totally like wounded, feminine energy, was like, now I want to go have coffee when my friend calls, or I want to go schedule a massage if I feel like going on a massage, or just go slower that day if I need it, right? So there are some days I wake up and I'm like, yes, let's do it. There are other days that I'm like, not so much, right? And we're so conditioned to think that those days that we wake up and we're like, not so much, that we're failing, like we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we're, being lazy, or we're just like, oh, my mindset isn't right today. Hell no, no. Look at that. I want you to look at that. If you wake up one day and you're like, not so much. Why? Why do you feel like not so much? Like maybe you didn't get a great night's sleep the night before. Maybe, you have been going, and your body is like, woo, can we just slow down a little bit? And it's okay to do that, right? I mean, if you make commitments, like I'm all about, reaching your goals and building your business and having what you want and doing the dang thing, right? I'm all about that. But I'm also about, heck yes, we need to take care of ourselves. Heck yes, we need to listen to our bodies and our intuition. Heck yes, we need to, be able to protect our energy. Like, and if you're feeling like this and the calendar for like your kids' activities looks like, craziness too, think about how they feel about it. Do they want to be going all the time? If you don't want to be going all the time, what makes you think that your kids are going to be want to go all the time like that? They need a break too. And I'm going to tell you what the best thing about a break is. One, you're replenishing yourself, right? You are giving yourself time to recharge. I know that those are all like buzzwords and they're kind of overused, and people are like, yeah, recharge, refill my cup, put my oxygen mask on first, all those things. Like, I know, we all know, but we don't do all the time. But when I take the time, like if I wake up one day and I'm like, like I know that I still have things that have to get done that day. And it doesn't mean that I have to jump right into getting them done that day or that at that second, right? It could mean I, have my coffee slower that day. I wake up a little slower that day. I read a book for an hour before I even hit the floor with my feet, right? It could just mean that instead of going to the gym that day, that I pop on like a yoga video on YouTube and I just do some gentle body movements that day. It could look however you want it to look, which is what I'm saying. So I guess the awesomest thing about this, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, is that you get to choose. I get to choose how I want my day to look because of the way that I have built my business to fit into my life instead of my life fitting into my business. I get to choose that. You get to choose that. You can choose to be like, fuck that busy badge of honor. I'm going to bring in, both of the energetics that I need and listen to myself, right? So we need to stop setting ourselves up for failure by wearing this busy badge, and start honoring ourselves instead by integrating the divine masculine energies, leadership, boundaries, integrity, accountability, and the divine energies of intuition, flow, acceptance, surrender. Again, not full lists. But we need to start integrating both of them into our lives and businesses, because you can be productive and still have a life that honors all of our cycles. our energy cycles, our moon cycles, our womanly cycles, our hormonal cycles, all of those cycles, and still feels really good. It still feels good. And we're still showing up as a leader, as a change maker, as a trailblazer, as the CEO of our business. We're still making confident, strong decisions. And we're still listening to our intuition to guide us. It's like the little GPS, right? It's our little life GPS. And we're listening to our energy, and we're listening right to ourselves. So I hope that this helps you in some way. I hope that you got something out of it. If you are listening on the podcast, I would love, love, love to hear what you have to say. So please screenshot you listening, you not necessarily you listening, but screenshot this episode and post it on your stories and tag me. Tell me what your takeaway was, what your aha was. I needed a sip of coffee because my throat is itchy from talking so much. But yeah, tag me at _elevated_entrepreneur and tell me what you thought about it. If you're watching this in my group, I want you to tell me below what you thought. Tell me. I want to know. I want to know what you, oh my goodness, feel like. Maybe you have been doing that you no longer want to do. Like what can you release out of this? Or what can you bring in more of? I can't wait to hear from all of you. And we'll see you the next time. Bye.